welcome to The Bright Side, a show where we shed a light on the people, places, and stories that make Michigan great. I'm Brittney Hoszkiw, Executive Director of the Old Town Commercial Association, one of the grassroots programs in the Old Town neighborhood that focus on community economic development in Lansing's Arts and Entertainment District. I'm here today standing in front of Polka Dots, one of several retailers in the Old Town neighborhood. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at other Main Street programs in downtowns across the state to give you a flavor of what makes Michigan great.
The list is mile long of things that I love about Michigan. I grew up in West Michigan, not far from Grand Haven, where I'm a Main Street manager, and I love the UP. I love the outdoors. I'm a big outdoor fan. I love the people. I love the seasons, and there probably isn't anything I dislike about Michigan. So I'm a lifer, I think, for Michigan.
What I love about Michigan is just the seasonality, and you can never get bored. There's so many activities you can do all year round. You don't have to live in another state or travel that far. What makes a place to me is not necessarily just the way it looks, but the way it feels. So whether it's smells or sights or sounds, but you get a feeling, and it brings back a lot of memories. And so there's some places that I may come back to multiple times, and they always evoke those memories. And so that's what's special to me.
What don't I love about Michigan? But I can say with great certainty that I love chili dogs from Coney Island and walks along Lake Michigan. So from one coast to the other, I love Michigan.
I guess I still like being in the Midwest with the change of seasons. People tend to be more down to earth and friendly. Moved here in 4th grade and probably will never leave.
Born and raised in the state of Michigan. I've lived kind of all over, from up north to Kalamazoo to the east side, and you know, there's an entrepreneurial spirit, I think, around Michigan and in this community in particular, and I think there's a lot of opportunity here.
It's like I grew up here, so everybody know my name. Remember the movie Cheers? Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, I love it.
What do I love about Michigan? My family. When we go on vacations, we only go where the downtowns are. And then we match the downtowns with what is the surrounding environment. If it's the great state parks, beaches, but it all starts with the downtown for us.
I love the downtowns. I mean, I'm getting a chance to travel all over Michigan, and I just love what's happening in our downtowns. There's a lot of electricity, a lot of energy, and the people are so passionate about their work in downtown areas, and so you just got to love the enthusiasm, and it's paying off. I mean, you know, downtown Flint, probably one of the most distressed cities in our state. If you go into the downtown area, you are just amazed at some of the things they've done and the events that they host. And people come from all over the region just to be a part of those events.
Well, my favorite place in Flint is downtown on the historic bricks at about an hour after dusk. To just look up, see the vehicle city arches, stars in the sky, bricks on the street. It's a really magical environment. We got a lot of great places in Flint, but that's one place that I think is truly world class. I've had the privilege of living and traveling to cities, all over this country and world, and there's no place like that.
There's a tremendous amount of pride in the state, and I think folks who are here and folks from outside of Michigan who come and experience Michigan really get a sense, and we hear this from staff who've joined us from other places, what a beautiful place it is. It is a really underrated, the natural beauty and the physical beauty of our places. We've got beautiful downtowns. I mean, Sault Ste. Marie is one of the oldest downtowns in North America. I mean, we've got just an amazing infrastructure, and the thing that we hear time and time again is the people. We hear it from the people who were born and raised here. You know, their family and friends are all here. It's something that we're ingrained in, but we hear it from people who've moved from somewhere else and just can't get over how friendly Michiganders are. And it's, to me, it's part of our DNA, and it's a place that you want to be at. It's a place where you enjoy the people, and you can't help but root for those two things.
As you saw from our last segment, there are many things that make a place special and make you want to be there. This is called placemaking. What is placemaking, you ask? Let's talk to Dan Gilmartin from the Michigan Municipal League and find out.
Welcome to the 411. I'm Tiffany Lemieux McKissick, and we're here today with Dan Gilmartin from the Michigan Municipal League. Thanks for being on the show, Dan.
Great to be here.
Great. So, we've heard a lot about this term placemaking lately. Can you kind of define for our viewers what exactly that means?
Sure. I mean, placemaking is really the art of taking the assets in a community and really building the community around it. We've spent, in Michigan especially, we spent the last 40 or 50 years building our communities around the cars, and big, huge roads, and getting people in and out of towns as fast as we can. And we're really missing the opportunities of what makes a place special, what makes it authentic. How can we sort of bring out those attributes in a community? And the concept of placemaking is really getting community leaders together with people in the community, business leaders, citizens, whoever it might be, and really sort of pushing an agenda for what it really means to live in a small town, a big city, whatever it might be. So that concept leads to really building communities around people instead of around cars, and we think that that's a real economic boom for us here in Michigan.
So really, sense of place is about taking what's unique about a community, embracing it, and celebrating it. Kind of telling people,
right? Because think about it in economic terms. And in this state, we sort of have the disease that whenever we talk about creating jobs in Michigan, we talk about tax rates and we talk about the regulatory environment. We don't lose on those things anymore. So when we're talking about comparing us to the places that are doing really well, so we undertook a study several years ago and have been working with a whole bunch of different groups to look at the research. Why do we get beat by this town, or why are all the young people that are graduating from Michigan or Michigan State or Central or Eastern or Western or somewhere else, why are they moving to certain places and not others? Why aren't they staying here? And it's place. It's really what they're looking for, and that's, again, you're talking about an entrepreneurial generation.
And we've heard that you guys have, at the Municipal League, have put out a book called The Economics of Place.
Right.
And when did you guys put this out?
Basically, the book has been out for about a month. It's available at our blog at economicsofplace.com or on Amazon. And there are 9 essays in there that really get to a whole bunch of different areas about place, whether that be entrepreneurs who want to live in authentic places, whether that be walkability issues. And we see people now, both retiring baby boomers and millennials, looking for places to live. People want to walk, they don't want to drive. The importance of things like cultural amenities and really having these types of places where you want to be. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. In this age where you're sort of not stuck living next to a Ford plant, people are mobile. They're the most mobile generation that we've ever been in. They move around quite a bit. We're finding out that people and jobs and entrepreneurs are choosing where they want to live first, then looking for or creating their own jobs. That's why we're getting beat by the Chicagos and the Portlands and the Seattles of the world. So pushing this agenda and finding out about what that means and how we can affect that kind of change here in Michigan is really what's behind the book. And not only is it sort of a quality of life issue, which is extremely important, but we think it's an economic one too, because that's what the numbers bear out. We don't lose to Chicago on taxes or regulations, or Seattle or Austin or Boston or wherever you want to hold up there as sort of the best place, the best region, the best state in the country to do work. We lose to them on this stuff. So we've really got to focus on that and get our communities, get our state around the sort of placemaking agenda.
So I heard when you visited the White House that one of the staffers actually read the book.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was honored to be part of a group through the National League of Cities, where I sit on the board of directors, that went to meet with President Obama a couple weeks back, and I walked in and the director of intergovernmental relations was there and said, "Hey, I read your book." So that made us feel real good that the message is getting out there. It's a really powerful message, I think, and it's something people can relate to, whether they're from a small town or a big city. So obviously at that level, we were really pleased to see that the book had made it through.
So if people want more information about placemaking or what you're doing at Michigan Municipal League, where can they go?
Sure, they can follow economicsofplace.com, which is our blog. They can check out, they can get the book there.
Yes.
They can also buy the book on Amazon. They can follow me on Twitter. I'm at DP Gilmartin. They want to check that out, and they can find us at mml.org. So we're doing some really cool stuff, and we're really proud to be part of sort of this movement that's out there of re-energizing our communities.
I can't wait to read the book.
Great. Let me know what you think.
I will. I definitely will. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the 4-on-1. I'm Tiffany Lemieux McKissick, and we'll see you on the bright side.
We're standing here in front of Tallulah's Folly, an eccentric boutique in Old Town Lansing. But we're going to be taking a trip to Southwest Michigan to check out one community that has reinvigorated themselves by embracing their unique identity.
Main Street's a really wonderful method of commercial revitalization that engages the community in the process. It's based on 4 points, those being promotion, design, economic restructuring, and organization. And no point has more value to the program than any other. You've got to be working on all 4 points at the same time, and then you come to a really wonderful town. The things that makes Niles so special is it has some really wonderful, authentic, owner-occupied, owner-run stores, and this is a wonderful example. This is the Red Pearl. You will come in here and you will always find the owner, Amy Smirkanich, and her dog, Pearl. Amazing shop, and this is one of the things that makes Niles so special. In front of the Paris Soda Shop, it's got a vintage 1930 soda fountain, and you can get wonderful things like phosphates and green rivers and ice cream and sundaes and really great quiche and paninis, hamburgers and fries, just about anything that you want in this great, great restaurant. Right now we're inside Benny's Sweet Shop. It's at the corner of 3rd and Main in downtown Niles, and it is one of the most amazing places you'll ever be to in your life.
From handmade chocolates to hard candies, peanut brittle. We always have fun with the seasonal things. We're in Halloween right now. We do thousands of caramel apples. We have candy corn, jelly pumpkins, all sorts of fun stuff for the season. Even before working down here, my husband and I have always liked Niles. It's a nice small town, great community feel, great people. It's just a very pleasant place.
This area was settled in the late 1600s. There was a fort here and built in 1691 by the French. So it's been continuously populated for quite some time. And we are uncovering that history right now, thanks to the help of Western Michigan University's archaeology team. Riverfront Park, which is the city's pride and joy, defines the city of Niles, I think. It's the hub, the focal point of the community. It bisects the city. The St. Joseph River bisects the city east to west, and the city's fortunate enough to own 2/3 of the east bank of the river.
This is Riverfront Trail. It runs from city limits to city limits. There's a wonderful walking path. In the park itself, we have a playground, a volleyball courts, skate park, amphitheater, along with the really wonderful trail. Well, we've won Main Street Program of the Year, Main Street Manager of the Year, Promotion of the Year for our Hunter Ice Festival. We won the Design Award for the Project of the Year for becoming our National Historic District listing on the Registry of Historic Places, and Economic Restructuring Project of the Year for a business recruitment and retention program that we created.
Next up, we'll visit a part of Detroit that shows what is possible through collaboration in over 30 years of placemaking efforts.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Larry, that's my name. Here we go.
Actually, I like everything about Midtown. I mean, I like the people, I like the businesses. It's just a just a nice place to hang out. I mean, you know, you have real people, real businesses, and just I think you get a taste of the best of the city.
I've always lived in cities, different cities my whole life, but I've never felt like quite so comfortable and like part of a community as I have the last few years.
So as a retailer, I think it's a great place to be. I'm a bookseller, and I know people are talking about bookstores going out of business and all, but I intend to go into business some more.
Midtown Detroit Inc. is actually a merged organization of two separate distinct organizations. It was the University Cultural Center Association, which oversaw the development and management of Midtown as a distinct neighborhood, and New Center Council, which was a nonprofit business organization that likewise had come together to develop and manage the New Center area. And now we've been working together on various different projects to help beautify and develop Midtown as a unique neighborhood in Detroit. The Green Garage got together and partnered with the Motor City Brewing Works to develop a green alley. Working through a grant provided by Midtown Detroit Inc., they went ahead and ripped out all the concrete and put in permeable materials, and it looks awesome. We have two projects that we're currently working on right now. The Woodward Willis is a mixed-use new construction development project, and over here is what we call the Agave development, where the former Agave restaurant once was. We're here on West Willis Street, which is just west of Cass Avenue. I wanted to bring you here because this is a great example of what we're trying to develop in Midtown as a sense of place. We have a great mix of different retailers here. We're activating the street by providing outdoor seating here, and the businesses are very much involved in the beautification of this area.
I enjoy the area because this location, it has helped out a lot. It gets people to interact.
I love this area. This area to me reminds me of when I lived in San Francisco and Seattle. It's just so cosmopolitan. You know, there are people of literally every ethnic group and every religious group you can imagine, and we all live here peacefully together. And Wayne State's right there, of course, and that helps with the diversity of the of people around here.
What we feel contributes to the sense of place in Midtown is really activating the streetscape, providing a mix of uses so we can get 24-hour uses in each of our development projects, and really paying attention to what's already existing, replicating buildings that have been here in the past and putting a modern twist. So we don't want to cover up our past, we want to celebrate the past and just create an interesting place to live.
Well, Detroit's my home. It's all of Detroit is my favorite because I was born here. My parents came here in the early 1930s, and so I like all of Detroit. I like the up and the down, the good and the bad. But I think the future is bright for Detroit. There's so many people who are coming to Detroit because they're pioneers or they're explorers or they're people that want to do well or do good things for the community. And then I always talk about the people who've always been here, who laid the foundation for me and many others. So we need to pay attention to those people as well. So Detroit has a very bright future.
Michigan's Upper Peninsula is indisputably one of the most beautiful places in the United States and provides its own unique character. Next, we're going to go to one of my favorite places, downtown Calumet.
Welcome to Calumet Main Street.
We are in historic downtown Calumet, Michigan, around the corner of 5th and Elm at my coffee shop, 5th and Elm Coffee House.
When we talk about what it takes to become a national park, a national historical park, you have to have those elements in place as far as your architecture, your history, your historic resources. We are a real community, not a contrived historic atmosphere, but a genuine historic setting. The village of Calumet, of course, it was always referred to as the village of Red Jacket up until 1929. But the whole area here, community-wide, was always referred to as Calumet. As the copper mining developed around here, over a course of 100 years, there were 400 mining companies created. They produced, at times, most of the world's copper. at a time when industry was just developing. So as a result, it had such a monumental impact on the American industrial development. The trick is to preserve our downtowns because with a Main Street program, it's fundamental to the safety and health and welfare of a community. You know, they talk about business incubators and all these wonderful projects, and they're great things, don't get me wrong, but there's no greater, finer, more successful track record available for business incubators than affordable space in a downtown commercial district. So, you know, you can go off in any direction and find reasons why the Main Street program and traditional downtowns are an integral part of a community's long-term success.
Well, I'm Shelley Hahn, and this is Hahn Hammered Copper, and we've been here for 2 years.
And what made you decide to come downtown?
Well, I love downtown Calumet, and I love the whole area, so the place came up for rent, and we had been talking about it, and finally the opportunity presented itself, and we just decided let's go for it. And it was scary, but here we are.
In the long run, they start to understand that these are the businesses that are supporting their school systems. These are the businesses that are providing quite often more jobs than any other, you know, business or industry in the area, and that it's a place where people can start businesses.
I've worked all over the world and lived on the West Coast and in the Sierras and the Cascades and the beach areas, and the beach almost all of those places because of the cool air and the climate and the people.
The eccentricities. We got a really good artist community up here. It's really fun. I like it. You just never know what you're going to get when you walk down the street. Every day you'll see your friends and then you'll see something new. And
so many people are so surprised at Calumet in the last even 10 years, how it's, you know, it's coming back to life.
This is the Holy Land for a lot of people. With that kind of passion and that kind of heart, you know, our communities will always survive. The people are here.
Now let's catch up with Olivia Krant at a special event that's bringing people to downtown Lansing.
I'm Olivia Krant, and this is Fun in 5. And today also happens to be the first Friday of the month, which means it's Lansing First Fridays. Restaurants, galleries, businesses, you name it, there's probably a great deal going on right now in Lansing. So we're gonna go take a look at some of those deals. What kind of deals? Oh, and did I mention there's free trolley rides? I'm standing in front of Power On, a new business here in downtown Lansing, where today, on First Fridays, you can get a free checkup on your computer.
Today is the first Friday of October, so you get a free slice of apple crumb pie with that.
Excellent. All right. We're here at Hager Fox Heating and Air Conditioning, and today the special is you buy one air filter and you get the next one half off. And they also have this wonderful photo exhibit and free snacks. We're here now in Rethreads, where today you can get 10% off your total purchase price. I'm going to grab dinner at Cosi, where it's buy one meal and get one meal free right here in East Lansing on Grand River. Now to wrap up the day, let's grab ice cream sundaes from Sparty's Sundae on Clifford Street. Buy 1 2-scoop Sunday and get the second half off on Lansing First Fridays. All of the businesses we've been through today have been really great. Kudos to them for making our downtowns awesome. You can see all participating businesses' great deals and sign up your business at lansingfirstfridays.com. I'm Olivia Carant, and this has been Fun in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Place isn't about buildings, streets, sidewalks. It's about experiences and people. Placemaking is taking the essence of a community and inviting others to share in what makes it unique. As you've seen here today, Michigan is working hard to enhance and preserve the wonderful things that make our places and spaces unique. Thank you for watching The Bright Side. I'm your host, Brittney Hoszkiw, and I invite you to submit ideas and make donations at www.brightsidetv.com.
How long have you lived in Niles?
I actually don't live in Niles. I'm the community development director for Niles, but yeah, I live in St. Joseph.
Okay.
And I've been commuting for 13 years.
We should have stuff by then. Are you asleep? Although she kind of looks dead.
And today also happens to be the first Friday of the month.
What am I supposed to be saying? I totally just made that up.
Next we'll visit a park.
Okay, all right.
Alright, so I can't wait to read the book.
Let me know what you think.
I definitely will. Alright, so I can't wait to read the book. It's so hard to do it naturally when you do it for the third time.
It turned out so well.